Facebook. Welcome to Real Life Cooking with Chefleen, and today we have a very special guest, Stephanie. I just gotta get all of my technological, so I gotta put Instagram. There's two ways you can watch live stream on Facebook and Instagram every other Monday for the summer. That's our new schedule, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, there we go. Let's start this. Live on Instagram. We are now live on Instagram. Woohoo, how exciting. Hey, Instagram, I'm showing you my house. There we go, that way. Hey, Instagram, welcome to Real Life Cooking with Chefleen. Today we have a very special guest, Stephanie LaVille.
Hi, Instagram.
And hey, Stephanie, Stephanie's followers, welcome to Real Life Cooking. Oh wait, can you see over here? Let's do that, there we go. All right, we have all of our technological things ready to go. Welcome, happy Monday. Great to have you here today on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So for those of you who did not know, Stephanie is my best friend in the entire world. And I'm really excited to have her on the show. She is a pretty good cook, but she's a meticulous cook. She is the kind of cook that needs all the measurements, so today should be interesting. Because, you know, that's not really how we roll on Real Life Cooking. It's real life, we just throw it in there and let's get started. Alright, so today on Real Life Cooking, it's so hot outside, it's almost like too hot to eat. Yeah, it's never too hot to eat, actually. Yeah, it's too hot to cook. So I wanted to show you two wraps that you can make using a rotisserie chicken. So we have a rotisserie chicken here. And what we're going to do first is I'm just going to have you start shredding the meat. So half and half in each of these bowls. We're making two different kinds of wraps today. We're making a pesto chicken wrap, and we're making a Thai peanut wrap with chicken as well.
Do you mind if dark meat, white meat?
No, so when you're shredding chicken, I like to mix it all together. So make sure you get dark and light meat in each of these bowls. And you can be a little more aggressive.
It's gonna be a lot.
We're here all day shredding the chicken.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna put the skin over here. We don't want any of the skin in there, but we do want, see how I just took out this whole breast right here, and then we're just gonna shred it just like this. And so today, like I said, we're making two different wraps, and because Stephanie is a huge fan of the sweet treats, we're making a dessert. We're making what's wrong?
Skin.
Oh, the skin goes in here.
Yeah.
We're making a berry float. Now, if you are just tuning into the show, you can ask questions along the way. We have our technological guru, TT Lio, is back in the house today. Woo woo. Shout out to TT.
I woke up today.
And she will be, if you have any questions, culinary otherwise, about what we're making, you can drop them in the box below, and she will relay your questions to me. And yeah, so yes.
Okay.
We just want it shredded. It's really, the easiest way I find to shred chicken is I just literally rub it in between my fingers, just like this. It gets the job done pretty quickly. Because again, it's summertime, it's hot. Who wants to spend all the time in the kitchen? Question?
No question. White meat or dark meat? Which do you prefer?
Personally,
Preference?
Yes.
Honestly, chicken isn't really my thing.
My favorite is the wing and the leg.
Really?
If I'm just eating
I don't
a
like
piece of chicken.
I don't really like legs that much. I feel like there's not that much meat. I don't know. I think I like the thigh meat the most. I think it's the most flavorful.
Yes.
But sometimes, I guess thighs would be my favorite if I'm eating just a piece of chicken. But I don't actually eat that.
A little faster.
But it's actually easier to. Oh, there we go. It's actually a lot easier, I find, to cook chicken breasts. So that's sometimes what I eat more. But they're not. Yeah, you need like a really good sauce or something like that if you're eating chicken breasts. And it's really easy to dry chicken breasts out. Unless you watch the first episode of Real Life Cooking, available on chefleen.com, where we sear and steam chicken. Question.
Can you go over what you're making again?
Yes, so today we are making two different kinds of wraps using a rotisserie chicken. And right now we're just shredding the chicken, so we haven't gotten too far if you're just joining us. We are making a pesto chicken wrap, and we're making a Thai peanut chicken wrap. And they're super, super simple. Mine's allowed.
No, I'm looking, where's the thigh?
Oh, so the thigh would be on the back. We're not going to use the wings. The thigh would be here, back
And then
here.
you can eat those
Yeah, we can eat those later. I find a lot of time, even that drumstick I just did, the drumstick was like really dry. So you want to make sure that you're only getting like the moist part of the chicken. All right, I'm gonna let you finish that. I'm gonna rinse off my hands over here.
Got it.
Oh, and we are also making berry floats at the end, so make sure you stick around to the very end so you can see dessert. All right, I'm gonna put this water here. So, I have made pesto on the show before. This was actually Stephanie's request to make pesto. She's like, pesto eggs, pesto pasta, pesto chicken.
And so good for this time of year. I like a nice fresh pesto.
It is really good. Basil is actually like, this is the time of year that it's in season. It's gonna be like really big and beautiful and bright. Look at this. This is so gorgeous.
That's lovely.
And
Where did you
pesto
get this?
from Bessie. Actually, I'll give you half of it. I don't need all of this. We're gonna use only measurements, right?
Take notes, people. Measurements.
All right, so we're only have like maybe what is this? Once we shred up all the chicken, maybe a cup and a half of chicken for each dish. When you have basil,
it smells really good. It smells very fresh.
It smells like summer basically. Basil, you always want to wash it unless you get in that little plastic container. I think it's like a Brooklyn Gardens they sell in Whole Foods. That is normally very clean, but basil gets really sandy, and the best way to wash your basil is actually going to be just to dip it in water, and you can even like let it sit for a second to just let all that sand fall off, and then just take it out. And if you wanted to get it nice and dry, the best way to dry it would be with a salad spinner. I live in 5 feet of space, so I don't have a salad spinner in my house.
I actually have a salad spinner.
Oh really? You're a real adult.
Like
That's how you know you're a real adult, when you have a salad spinner.
What?
You have 7 feet of space, that's why.
Yeah, you live in Queens, so you know you have a little more space than us and
We
Harlem
don't
over
even use
here.
it all the time. One more thing to wash.
Question, Stephanie, what is your favorite dish to make?
Huh? Who's this question from? TT?
Does it matter who the question is
I'm
from?
just curious. I like to make jambalaya. I think that's my favorite dish. I also like making baked ziti.
You make good baked ziti.
Yeah, Stephanie's baked ziti is actually really amazing. But it's summertime, so I was definitely not turning on the oven right now. So the next step in making our pesto, I just want to take off the leaves from the stems of the basil. It's actually a really important step, because if you don't, your pesto can be like either too thick or like sometimes it can get stringy. One time at a client's house, I was like trying to save time, and then the pesto was like horrible, so I had to redo it. So learn from my mistakes. Don't blend your stems in there. So make sure you take off all those leaves. You just want the leaves. How's the chicken going over there?
We're almost done. It's almost clean.
It's kind of crazy, like as you become an adult, like I remember my mom used to make me like shred chicken, and I thought it was the worst thing to do. Like it just took forever. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm not playing outside. I'm still shredding this chicken. Exactly. But now things are just like so much easier. I guess perks of being an adult with salad spinners, or lack thereof. Question?
What's the best way to store the wraps that you're not eating same day?
So what I would suggest that you don't assemble your wrap until you're going to eat it, or like it would be acceptable to like assemble it in the morning before work, but I wouldn't like leave it in the fridge overnight, because the salad is going to be very full of moisture, and the wrap's just going to get soggy. So you definitely want to wait until you are going to eat it, or like the morning of. A few hours won't be like the worst. Question
for Stephanie. What is your favorite dish that Kat makes?
Oh. Huh. Kat made, one time she made this pie. It was like a berry. Does that count as a dessert?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. One time she like came over my house with this this like berry pie thing. I don't know, what do you call it?
I don't even remember what she's talking about. She was
It
like
was
talking about this
delicious.
this weekend. She's like, this berry pie, and it was like so
It
good.
had
I
like
have
the
no
best
idea.
crust and with the scoop of ice cream. Man.
Well, apparently berry pie. I make really good berry pie.
Let me see what else. I'm trying to think of. I think think the pasta that you made at the event on Saturday.
Oh yeah, so I had Lovers and Friends this past weekend. It's a dinner party where you sit down, enjoy company, a 3-course family style meal. And this weekend I made a seafood pasta with a lemon wine sauce, and it had salmon and shrimp in it.
That was really good.
It was pretty good. I didn't eat the pasta because I'm back on my gluten-freeness, but the sauce is really good. Alright, so welcome to Real Life Cooking. If you're just joining us, we have Stephanie, my best friend, helping us along today to show you, we make a meal from start to finish, no TV gimmicks, to show you can do this at your home. It's so easy to cook, and I really want you guys to be excited about cooking. And it's hard to be excited about cooking in the summer. It's hard to be excited about cooking in the summer because it's so hot. So today I'm showing you 2 different salads that require absolutely no cooking. We just started with a rotisserie chicken, and we're gonna make a fresh basil to toss one of them in, and we're gonna use a Thai peanut sauce for the other, and we're gonna make them into nice little wraps. And at the end, we're gonna make a berry float, which is gonna be absolutely summery and amazing as well. So as Stephanie finishes shredding up this chicken, it takes about 10 minutes to shred it.
I'm done.
Oh yeah. So what can you do?
This is enough, right?
Yeah, that's good. So you don't want to throw away your chicken carcass. As we were talking about not cooking, if you boil this in water, you can make your own chicken broth at home, and then you can even freeze it, and it will last forever. I recommend freezing it in smaller batches instead of one big thing. Also, I wanted to take this time to show you guys. So these little 2 cavities right here in the chicken, it's like the back of it. There you go. These lie a piece of meat called the oyster of the chicken, and is the most juicy, delicious part of the chicken. So next time you're shredding chicken, make sure to check out for those oysters in the back of your chicken.
What do you do with the oysters?
You eat them.
You would put it in this wrap, or?
Yeah, you can just shred it up. But normally, yeah, you've already shredded it. But
I didn't even know what it was. I just thought it was chicken.
Normally, when I'm shredding my own chicken, I normally eat those my little snack, my benefit of shredding the chicken. Alright, so we have our shredded chicken here. Now, here, you want to wipe off your hand?
Yes, please.
Now we're going to get ready with our pesto. So pesto is super easy, like I said, to make at home. You just need a few ingredients. You need garlic clove. That's definitely important. You need some pine nuts. About 1/4 of a cup or so. Here, I'll let you measure.
Okay.
Oh my god, you're gonna mess up. I'm just kidding. So if you know those little ramekins, classic ramekins, that you put ketchup in, that's good. But you know those little ramekins that you put ketchup in, at In-N-Out or somewhere like that, that is 1/4 of a cup. So if you ever need to visualize I tell you this after you already did it, but if you ever need to visualize it, think about that many. But
that's about right.
honestly, it doesn't really matter because you can just adjust it, especially something like pesto. It's not going to be the end of the world if you put a little bit more pine nuts. So we're making a pretty traditional pesto today.
Well, actually, you said it's not pesto.
Oh yeah, it's not pesto. You're right, because I don't have any cheese. Real life, I forgot the cheese. I actually forgot the chicken. Steph had to bring the chicken. How am I doing a whole show with chicken and didn't even bring chicken? So we're making a pesto, which is a pesto without the cheese. So this is actually, I was gonna say it's vegan, but we're pouring it for chicken, so it doesn't really matter if it's vegan or not. But what we're gonna do is we want to blend our pine nuts and our garlic first, so we can get those started together. Just to get them, because the pine nuts are going to be a lot more hard to break down than the basil. So if you want to just turn on this one. Yeah. Oh, it can be helpful if it was plugged
Plug
in.
it in, guys.
First step. All right, go ahead. All right, cool. And now if you want to just add in that basil right
All
there.
of it?
Yep, all of that basil. We're going to add in a nice pinch of salt. There we go. And we're going to add in olive oil. So in this recipe, you definitely want to use a good quality olive oil because it's basically, there's only a few ingredients. So you definitely want to use a good, nice green olive oil.
How much is this measurement?
This is about a cup of olive oil. I'm actually going to blend that now and see what happens with it. And then as it blends too, I'm going to add in a little bit more olive oil too. Put that on there. So we can add in more. A couple of teaspoons more. that, we have our pesto. So you can make your pesto as loose or as thick as you want it to be. If you want to make it like a spread, you probably want to put a little less olive oil. And if you want to make it, like right now we're going to toss it with the chicken, so we want it to be a little more loose than your traditional. But before we pour it on our chicken, we want to taste it. A show. What's it need?
Maybe some salt.
Some more salt for sure. And, oh, here we go.
Cheese.
Cheese? No, we're not. We don't have cheese. We have lemon though. When you're,
okay.
it's a little flat. Yeah, you can put it in the sink. It's a little flat. We can taste the basil, but it's not popping how a pesto should because there's no acidity in it. So we definitely want to put a little squeeze of lemon. I actually have this lemon juice I've been trying to use forever. Well, not forever, but like a week or so. There's just a little bit left in here, so I'm going to just pour that in. And then we're going to give it another blend. Oh, you said salt too. Yep, yep, exactly right. And then we'll put the lid on.
It looks like a green smoothie.
It looks like a green smoothie. I don't know if you'd want to drink like a whole cup of this.
No.
It's pretty good, but not that
as
good. All right, let's see. That brightened it up. Taste it one more time. Question? No? I thought you raised your hand. Titi's over here stretching. If you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the bottom and we can answer your culinary questions along the way.
I have a question.
Question.
Stephanie, have you made pesto before?
I have made it. I made it once a while ago.
How did you make it? Did you make it in a blender?
Yeah, I have actually. I used to have this NutriBullet. I used that. I had pine nuts and Parmesan and basil, and it wasn't enough. I wish I had more. Yeah, I was really impressed with this really big bunch of basil. When I never see that much.
Yeah,
in the
because
store. It's usually so
it
small.
condenses down as you like crush it. And pesto will last in your fridge for up to a week.
Oh.
So if you have basil that's going bad, it's a really good way to like use it up. And this recipe is super flexible. You don't always have to use pine nuts. You can use like almonds or cashews, or you can add different herbs like mint or cilantro or parsley. And it just kind of changes the flavor. I'm like holding this carrot, like talking blah blah blah. All right, so I'm gonna have you peel this carrot. Let me give you the peeler.
Oh, I like this.
Right now, what we're gonna do, we're making 2 different wraps today. We just finished our pesto for our pesto wrap, and what we're gonna do now is get the ingredients for our wraps ready, so then we can just assemble our wraps like a little assembly line. So for the Thai, we're switching over to the Thai wrap now. We're gonna julienne some carrot. We have some coleslaw in a bag. Now, I don't really recommend normally buying things in bags, especially lettuce, but every time I buy cabbage, like half of it goes bad, so I find that this is like a much more efficient way for me to eat cabbage or have cabbage around, because literally it just goes bad. And cabbage lasts forever, so it's kind of weird that cabbage goes bad because I just don't touch it anymore. So you are allowed to buy things, coleslaw in a bag, but nothing else. Nothing else. No lettuces, because as soon as they're cut, they start to go bad. So definitely you can buy the coleslaw, but nothing else. I'm just gonna get this so we have a little nice assembly line going. And then I want to show you guys how to julienne the carrot. This coleslaw mix actually has a little bit of carrot in it, but it just wasn't enough for me, so we're gonna add in some extra carrot. All right, let's move this out of the way so you guys can see. Grab a knife. All right, so julienne a carrot. This is like one of the first things I learned in culinary school. I want to take very good notes because you will be up next, and we'll see how my teaching skills go. Question?
We have a question from Kiana. What about spinach in a bag?
Spinach in a bag is okay too. Thank you, Kiana. Yes, spinach in a bag, but no like romaine. What are other lettuces? Like green leaf lettuce. Anything that's ripped up. As soon as you rip your lettuce, it starts to die. So it doesn't really make sense. Kale in a bag is okay, but it still is like not as good as if you just. And it doesn't take much to wash kale. All right, so I cut my carrot into more manageable sizes. The biggest mistake I see a lot of home cooks do is they try to like cut a giant thing that's bigger than a knife. That makes no sense. It's dangerous, so don't do that. And now what I'm gonna do is make little planks of my carrot. So, expert level, you can do it like this. And I'm cutting very thinly, rocking my knife back and forth. And then this little piece, we could just eat as a snack later. no reason to lose your fingers over a carrot. Then what I'm gonna do is stack my little planks on top of each other, just like this. And only do as much as you're comfortable with. I see the question, 1 second. Only do as much as you're comfortable with. Like if you feel it, like you can only do 2, maybe only do 2. And then what you're gonna do is just julienne it, which is just cut it into little matchsticks just like that. And that is what we're gonna put into our wrap as well. So we'll just put those on the side. And I will let you take over this job. Let's see how it goes. Question
from Chris Hoy. Where's Gil?
Where's Gil?
You should text him. We are busy working.
Wait, let's not distract Stephanie while she has the sharp knife.
Yeah.
No questions for Stephanie for the next 30 seconds while the heat is on. All right, so be careful, protect your fingers.
No, Gil's probably in Sunnyside. Okay, now I'm back.
And you want to rock your knife. So that's we'll leave that one. That's expert level. So you have this
Expert
plank right
level.
here, and now you just want to cut your little strips. Perfect. And make sure to protect your fingers there. Yep. It feels weird at first to protect your fingers, but it is really good to try to get yourself in the habit of doing it, because as you get faster at chopping, you definitely will, like if you're chopping really fast and you're not protecting your fingers, you can cut them off.
Okay.
You're going pretty slow now, so like, and you're paying attention. All right, so yeah, careful of your fingers. Oh my gosh, this is like freaking me out a little bit.
But I'm going so slowly. I will cut.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
And then cut that into some matchsticks again. Let's move our. Oh, the tomato. Oh, so this is like a really fun technique to try when you have just time, but you could also just buy shredded carrots in a bag if you're making a lot of these. But I really like, yeah, that's good. We're only making a couple. Well, I don't know, TT's here. We might have to make a few more wraps. Yeah, this is enough for like 2 wraps or so. But you can use the shredded carrot in a bag. I don't know why lately I haven't been able to find them as easily, but fresh carrots have like way better crunch to them. So if you have the time, go ahead and chop up your own carrot. My knife is a little dull, that's why Steph is sawing right now.
Oh,
But
so
you
it's
want-
the knife, it's not me.
But you want to make sure, do as I say, not as I do. Oh, my Instagram went away. 1 second. But you want to try to just make swift motions and not saw your knife. But again, like I said, that's not her fault. It's my knife is kind of dull. All right, hold on, Instagram, coming back. Oops, I don't want a picture of myself.
Look at this. Check this out. I'm doing the rocking motion.
Good job, Steph.
Oh, I missed it. Look
You're
at
missing
this.
it.
Look at this. She's doing so good. Sorry, Instagram, cut you off on real life cooking. But Steph has a whole while you were gone, Steph has a whole pile of mashed carrots perfectly done.
Expert level.
And all of her fingers are intact. I'm so proud. All right, let's move this carrot out of the way. I'm gonna rinse off this tomato. We're kind of jumping forth in between, or jumping back and forth in between 2 recipes right now. That's good. Just put them in the bowl. We're jumping back and forth between 2 recipes right now. These are gonna be our inside fillings for our Thai peanut wrap. And then we're just gonna use simple tomato. And if you wanna grab that box of arugula, arugula and tomato are gonna go in our pesto wrap. So if you just put some of that on the plate here. Arugula is another thing that you can buy in a box.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, and this is like triple cleaned, so it's fine too. So I want to show you guys how to cut a tomato. So this is a beef steak tomato. It's actually tomato. Summer is tomato season. Later summer is even better for tomatoes. But what I want to do, because I don't want so much juice, especially if I was making this to eat later. I don't want all that. That's perfect. I don't want so much juice inside of the wrap, because again, all that moisture is not going to be great. So what I want to do is try to cut out the middle portion of the tomato. So I cut off the top, well that's the bottom, the top and the bottom, and then I want to kind of just cut out the inside. So I'm going to cut a little slit, and then I just run my knife ever so slightly along the outside of the tomato. So what I end up is with just like the fleshy part and not all of this moistury, seedy apart. This is great if you want to blend it up and make a gazpacho, or I don't know, put it on a sandwich or something, but not in this wrap. All right, and then once you have this, we can just kind of remove all those seeds and all that excess water, and then we'll do the same thing with our tomato. We'll make it kind of in a similar shape that we did with our carrot, so I'll cut it into some pieces like that, and then just run my knife just like that. So we have some nice strips to put in our wrap. All right, if you want to finish that off, I'm going to move this over here.
Stephanie,
Yes.
what is something you want to improve on with your cooking? What skill?
Like a skill? I guess like being able to cook faster and still like have it turn out good. I usually take my time, but everything I make is pretty good.
Nothing
But
is
I
wrong
take
with
my
taking
time.
your time.
I'm pretty meticulous, so.
I definitely think that
But I need to get faster.
taking your time is better than like rushing through something and then ending up with a product that you don't like at the end. Because the whole point of cooking is to eat it at the end, right? So we want to make sure you're making something delicious for yourself. All right, so for our wraps, I'm just using multi-grain tortilla wraps. You can use whatever kind of wrap your heart desires. There's like spinach and sun-dried tomato, and sun-dried tomato might be nice with the pesto. But I had to use like a more neutral base because we're making two different flavors of wrap. So the only thing is, before you use your wraps, you definitely want to heat them up. So how do you?
Microwave or oven?
We're gonna use the stove top.
Oh no.
So my favorite way to heat up tortillas is just to. She's like scared of the fire. She's like,
No,
oh,
I just
let me
want them to be able to
move
see
away.
it.
So literally, all you're gonna do is just put the tortilla on the flame. Wait.
Say a prayer.
No, you don't have to say any prayers. Just wait a little while, and then you can like flip it over. And the point of this is to make the tortilla pliable. Also, if you get some nice like charcoaly flavor from it as it chars up a little bit. But you definitely don't want to walk away while you're doing this. Question?
Question from Chris Coy. What's Gil's favorite meal you cook, Steph?
Chris Coy. Let me think. I think jambalaya or baked ziti. Probably jambalaya or baked ziti.
Hasn't Chris had your ziti? Didn't you have that at Christmas?
I think so. Yeah, I made it for our holiday party.
Alright, if you could just clean that up. We want to make sure that our cutting board is nice and dry before we start assembling our wraps, because otherwise, moisture is the enemy of our wraps, for sure. Alright, so these are nice and hot and
Chris,
pliable.
did he make his flight?
Oh yeah, did you make it to the airport, Chris?
We'll see shortly.
Okay.
Alright. I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna
do one more.
Oh, one more white. Well, I'm gonna cut a line. 1 second. So I'm gonna cut this line for our Thai wrap. If you've watched the show before, you know how I cut citrus so that it you get the most juice out of it. You want to go ahead and cut it off center, so you end up with 3 pieces, just like this. And then we can juice these, and you'll prepare to be amazed if you've not seen the show where I juice limes, because a lot of lime juice will come out of these 3 little halves, much more than if you cut it the traditional halfway point. All right, so let's go ahead and mix our chicken with our 2 sauces that we have. So we have our pesto. I'll let you be in charge of that one.
Okay.
So just add some to the chicken until you feel like it's enough.
All right. How do you guys feel today?
Well,
Really saucy or?
remember, we bought this chicken, so it probably doesn't have a lot of flavor. So the flavor, we're only adding flavor. Or this is the only flavor that we're adding, so you can be generous. And then for our Thai peanut wrap, you can literally just buy Thai peanut sauce in the store and add it to your chicken. Clearly, I'm like very generous with I love sauces. Like I said, this is our flavor. Our rotisserie chickens are not normally like so flavorful. So I'm just gonna, oh my gosh, this is good.
I have a fun story about Thai.
What is your fun story? And then I'm gonna add some lemon juice to the Thai wrap. Yes.
So I made some pad Thai last week.
Oh, how was that?
It was delicious.
Did you make your own sauce, like tamarind and all that stuff? Oh.
Yeah, we had to go to the Asian market and get everything, and now we have all these. So we need a reason to make more Thai and Asian food, so you should come over and
Okay.
make some more food.
I'm gonna come over and we're gonna have Thai food.
Okay.
What are some other
Garlic.
dishes she can make with those ingredients?
You can make
Thank you.
like Thai food. So you can make like a lot of different noodles, like pad see ew, pad Thai. You can make soups with all those flavors,
Okay, I
like
can't wait to
lemongrass.
make soups.
Yeah, it's a little, like you said, it's a little hot to be cooking right now. I'm just gonna taste this before I keep running my mouth. That's exact. Honestly, how easy was that? I opened up the peanut sauce. I put it in the chicken. I put a little lime juice. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, but this really can't get any easier. Like, no excuse not to pack your own lunch. Oh, the other thing I wanted to add to this is some sriracha.
Is like enough?
Yes.
More sauce?
That looks good. Taste it. See if the chicken tastes dry.
Okay. Let me mix it up.
So I just added to our Thai peanut sauce, or Thai peanut wrap, I just added a little bit of sriracha just to give it that heat. Because peanut sauce is very sweet, so we want to balance it with that acid of the lime and the heat of the sriracha. And you said the pesto's good, I'm going to trust you.
Well, I can always put a little more.
Well, you can also save some on the side so you can dip your wrap in later.
Okay.
Um,
a little.
Alright, let's go ahead and start assembling our wraps. Don't need this. So we'll each take a tortilla.
That's so cold. Question.
Question.
Can you serve the wraps cold and hot or just cold?
I think just cold because like we're putting cabbage and carrots and arugula in.
Can you eat the chicken up?
You could eat the chicken if that's your preference, but you would need to eat it like obviously right away because all that stuff would just wilt. Another option is to like you could use the same pesto chicken to make like a quesadilla or like an open faced pizza on a tortilla. That would be really good. All right. I think that's pretty mixed. That's pretty good.
Just pink down here.
All right. So what we're gonna do? These wraps are not created equal. What we're gonna do is just put a little bit. You could do the pesto. Let's move that out of the way. We're gonna put a little bit of the chicken on the wrap, and you want to kind of put it in the middle, like this, like so. And you want to kind of try to flatten it out.
3 spoons.
Like a serving size would be like a half a cup of like protein, or 4 ounces of protein, which would be actually 4 ounces. 4 ounces would be a fourth of a cup. But yeah, just depending on how hungry you are, you can't really get this wrong. But if you put too much, that's a lie. If you put too much chicken or too much filling, it's going to be very, very difficult to make your wrap.
Okay.
So if you are not avid wrapper, I would fill them less to begin with, and then up it as you get better. So I'm gonna put my carrots. I'm gonna put my carrots on here. You know what? Also be a good addition to this Thai wrap, cilantro. But I didn't purchase any, so we have no cilantro. Real life. And then I'm just gonna. The last thing you want to do is put like the lighter lettuce. So in this case, it's cabbage. In your case, it would be the arugula. And then I will wait for you to. Oh, you want to put your tomatoes first. A few slices of tomato. Question?
Question. How many servings will this recipe make?
So we used 1 chicken. That chicken was pretty small in my opinion. I've seen bigger rotisserie chickens.
That's good.
I would say, how much, let me look at how much chicken we have. This is probably another 2 to 3, maybe like 6 wraps total.
So 1 serving?
You said what? So 1 serving. Alright, perfect. And now your arugula on top. You could also, if you want to, toss your arugula with like some lemon juice and olive oil, but not necessary. But if you just wanted that extra touch. Yep. And now to wrap our burritos or our wraps, we're going to fold in the ends. My tortilla's like that, kind of. And then you're going to just roll it up from one side. And try to keep those ends like folded in. Like so. There we go. And then we're just going to cut it in half. It'll stay. Okay. I'm going to cut it in half just like so. Isn't this beautiful? I'm going to get a little plate for us.
I don't want to mix
This is our Thai peanut wrap, so you can see our layer of chicken that we put in with our peanut sauce, lime juice. We have our beautifully julienned carrots that Steph did, and we have our cabbage on there too. So I'm just gonna put this on a plate.
And one pesto wrap coming right up.
Oh yeah, the pesto one is beautiful too. Oops, I grabbed it wrong. Right there, pesto, chicken, tomato, arugula. If you like, you could put some cheese in here. I don't know why I was striking out on cheese. And we'll just leave these right here. I know it's so sad because we're gonna move on to dessert.
Never sad.
They're gonna
to dessert.
We're gonna just move all of this stuff out of the way. And I will give you this.
Do we still use the cutting board?
Yeah, you can keep the cutting board. It's always a good idea when you're cooking to have a cutting board around, just because it protects your counters. So you want to put half of those berries in there?
The last question was from your mom.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Half of those
the
berries.
question I already answered.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are making a berry float, which is super, super summery. Normally when you make a float, you have some sort of syrup, and normally to make syrup, you boil it on the stove. But again, we are doing no cooking today. So all we're gonna do instead to make our syrup is blend up our berries. Yeah. Blend up some of our berries with some sugar. And it's not gonna be thick like a syrup, but it will still have that same flavor. Now, a note to self, if you buy berries often, you don't really want to wash them until you're right about to eat them because they will go bad faster. Oops. Lost the berry.
Comment.
Comment?
Stephanie, your mom said she can't wait for you to make these for her.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Alright, when is the
Stephanie,
next time you're going home?
your husband has joined.
Oh. Welcome.
So we're gonna add,
I don't know how I'm going home. Probably Christmas.
oh, Christmas. Carolyn. Stephanie is also a California native. She's from Inglewood. Alright, so now to make our syrup, we're gonna add a generous amount of sugar because it is a sugary syrup. And we're not heating it up, so it's not gonna be thick. So probably a half a cup or so. And then, if you wanna put on that lid. Yep. And then plug it in, because that's when things need to happen.
Did Chris make it to the airport?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Alright, go ahead and NutriBullet that away. Come back, Nassim. So if you're just joining us, we're making a berry float. Yeah. Do you know how?
Yeah, I used to have one of these.
So Steph is over there working on our berry syrup. That's probably good. Where's my, oh, here it is. So Steph is working on our berry syrup. We have 3 different types of berries: strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. And we just blended it up with a good amount of sugar, about a half a cup or so. Whoa, I stepped on the strawberry. And then what we want to do, actually, what we want to do is strain this mixture because berries, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful outside. You see the clouds?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's so nice. What we want to do,
you aren't here, it's like a purple hue. It's really beautiful. I would say go out and watch it, but you should stay.
but you
watch
should stay and
us.
keep watching us. Unless you're on your phone, then maybe you could look out the window.
Multitask.
All right, so what we want to do with this syrup that we just made is strain it out because I think that, well, I don't know if it's just
Pretty
me personally, that's what we want. We want it to be thick.
Okay.
Berries have a lot of seeds, and seeds are annoying when they get stuck in your teeth, so you definitely want to strain it. I highly suggest everyone, do you have one of these in your house? I highly suggest everyone have one of these sort of strainers in their house. It's really efficient, if you're just boiling a little bit of pasta for 1 or 2 people. It's easier than cleaning that whole other big thing. It's great for straining sauces. Highly recommend this in people's houses.
What are your
Go ahead.
tips for cleaning this?
Um,
Sometimes it's
So I have been blessed with a dishwasher from the housing gods. So typically I always like to use, if you have a dishwasher, oh my gosh, the sunset is just getting more and more gorgeous. I am so distracted. And then we're just want to use a spoon to help push that through. You don't want to push it through because then some of the seeds might get out, but it'll just help make the process a little faster. Unless you have doing that. Unless you have more time to just sit there and let it all come out. But if you don't have a dishwasher, the best way to clean that, I find, is to, one, clean it as soon as you're done using it, and one of these little scrubber brushes, and if you scrub the front and the back and then like running water constantly, it gets pretty clean. If you do have like hardened food in there, you might want to soak it for a little while before you try to scrub it out. But this is way better than just trying to use a sponge. Like the sponge kind of doesn't work so well. Yeah. Alright, so actually can I move you over just a little bit? I'm going to slice up some strawberries. So easy enough slicing up strawberries. You can cut, this is like another recipe, you can do it however you want. You cut it into little small pieces, you can just slice it. You can literally, the world is yours. So we only need a couple of strawberries. So I'm slicing them here. Strawberries are also something that is like very much in season right now. If you have the chance, highly recommend going to a farmer's market and getting those little tiny baby strawberries. They're like super, super sweet and will look really cute in a dish like this. Now, you also have the option if you wanted to like macerate strawberries. Do you know what that means? No. Macerate means just like toss with sugar and then it'll make that like syrupy.
We don't have to heat it?
You don't have to heat it, you can just toss it. It's also, well, strawberries, well, most berries will already make their own juices. That's why like if you ever brought them to school lunches, they would be all like slimy by the end. But you can toss them a little sugar, but this has, like we have a ton of sugar in here. We're putting ice cream. I don't really think it needs any more sugar, but if you really wanted to, you could toss them with sugar as well. All right, let's turn it over. Yeah, that's fine. Here, let me give you.
How long should strawberries last?
You know, it really depends how strawberries last. I feel like depending on like the temperature of your fridge, strawberries don't like really, really cold. So if your fridge is too cold, your strawberries aren't gonna last as long. Yeah, and if, like depending on how old they look when you first get them, that's another variance. But I feel like on average, like 3 to 4 days. You can eat them after, but they're gonna just be kind of weird. Honestly, like if you have a perfect temperature house or live like somewhere like San Diego, you could probably just live strawberries out and not even refrigerated. But it's like 1,000 degrees in here, so. All right, we can put that, you can just put that.
The seeds?
No, just put it so it doesn't drip across. All right, so we are ready to assemble our wraps. We need 2 spoons. And we need our cups, or not our wraps. You let me say our wraps. Our berry sundae. Alright, so we have our, let's talk about the elements of our berry smoothie. We have strawberry ice cream because it's a very berry float. You could use vanilla if you don't want to use strawberry, but I think it really adds to the flavor, the berry flavor. And then we have our syrup that Stephanie expertly blended. We didn't add any water to this, that's why it's so thick, almost more like jam. And that's gonna be a nice layer. And then all we're gonna do is kind of like layer these elements on. So you can take, yeah, so I'll do this one. We're gonna put, you can put some at the bottom, maybe like 2 spoons. Again, there's no like science to this. It's just like however the mood stirs you, however you feel. And then you're gonna put a scoop of ice cream. Oh,
you don't want to use a scooper?
Oh, no, it's okay.
You have one.
I know I have one. Fine, I took it out. So I'm gonna take a scoop or 3 of ice cream and pop those in there. This is a really like cute dessert too. Really pretty. And then I'm gonna put 3. This little thing is, oh, it's on the outside. Perfect, I can wipe it off. If you want to go ahead and get started, I'm doing yours.
Okay.
I want to wipe this off. This would have been perfect for like the 4th of July. It's like all the colors of 4th of July. All right. Again, you can use any kind of berries you want. I don't really like blueberries that much, so I didn't I didn't include blueberries into this. But you could use blueberries, you could use raspberries, golden berries. Question?
Is there like a crunchy texture you could add, like graham crackers or something?
You could, but this is a float, so we're gonna add soda. So that might be a little weird if you're drinking like graham crackers. But if you wanted to keep this as like just a berry sundae, You could definitely add like graham crackers, nuts, what else would be cookie crumbs, anything like that. Alright, now let me grab our club soda. So we're just using plain club soda here in our float, but feel free to use, if you can find like a raspberry seltzer or something like that, or even lemon seltzer would probably be pretty good because of the acidity in it.
Oh wait, did I miss a step?
Berries at the bottom. But it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
It's okay, just put them around it.
These berries.
Those berries. I mean, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It's totally up to you how you want to make your presentation look.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab something from over here really quick. This is what I mean. Steph is a very meticulous chef over here, like really arranging, really putting these together.
Well, I already messed up once with putting the ice cream.
You can't mess this up. Like literally,
salvage my
the only way you can
presentation.
mess this dish up is if you don't strain out the seeds, and then you're over here eating like berry seeds while you're supposed to be enjoying dessert. All right, I'm gonna put our little straws in. Paper straws. This is a sustainably sustainable house. I actually really hate paper straws, but yeah. If you find a good paper straw, let me know the company because I would rather have those.
These are plastic?
These are paper.
Oh.
We care about turtles in this house, you know.
Oh, these are
All right, and then if you want to put like a little fan of strawberry or not, you know, whatever your heart desires.
I gotta make it fancy.
And then we're gonna add in
I'll add a fan.
just a little bit of club soda.
Okay, that's not quite a fan, but the soda's gonna cover it up, so.
Not if you. There we go.
Ooh.
Very festive and summery. All right. Well, thank you. We are nearing the end of this show. We have our ice cream berry floats to drink. We have our
Cheers.
2 kinds of wraps to enjoy as well. Thank you very much for being on the show. How was it for you?
Oh, thanks. This is so much fun.
You're gonna go home and make all these things now?
Yeah, I think I can.
Awesome. And thank you guys for tuning in, watching. We'll be on again in 2 weeks, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure to follow Chefleen. Obviously, you're following Chefleen. But go to www.chefleen.com to see old recipes so you can cook along yourself. All right. Bye, guys. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.